everybody. Welcome to the Coffee Comment this Sunday. And this is your girl, Mecca.
And Ryan.
And guess what, guys?
So lame.
We did that last week. Y'all already know it's my birthday. Anyways, tonight we're going to talk about what is acting white. Interesting.
Very.
Because, I kind of don't like when people say, why are you acting white? Or why you acting black?
Honestly, I never understood the whole statement of acting black and acting white.
Right.
It's like, I don't get that, and nobody has been able to actually give me a good definition of what is it acting white. It's like, and it kind of ticks me off. It's like, oh, you speak properly. Oh, so that means you're acting white. So basically, you're saying that if you're a non-white person, that you don't speak properly.
That you're automatically supposed to speak like
okay, because I'm black, because I have to speak, the Ebonics, or because I'm from Atlanta, I just automatically got to have that Atlanta twang to me. Don't get me wrong. I've been here for quite some time, so yes, I have picked up on it, but I do know how to turn it on and off. But I do hate that acting white and acting black, because the way you decide to dress, or I used to catch it a lot when people would ask me where I'm from, like what part of the town that I live in, and if I said Roswell, they're like, oh. Like, okay, I'm one of those black people. Because you hang around a bunch of white people. I'm like, no, I have a diverse crowd of friends. So, no.
That was me. We kind of grew up, all over. This is not my first time living in Georgia. My parents moved here when I was little and my sisters were born. And I've lived here, and it was kind of different. I don't really remember too much here, but when we went back to New Jersey, I was living in like kind of the suburb at the time. Right now it's probably not, but it was the suburb, and I had, like you said, a diverse amount of friends, circle of friends, and I did go to like a white school, predominantly white, and if it was black people, it was more so, they're still black, but it was more of the the Islanders, so it was more Jamaicans, it was more Haitian kids, it was more Africans, and
they hate on you for that. And that's funny. It's like, you're black, but you have the Jamaican, so you're not really black. You can't hang out with us because you're not Jamaican or you're not Haitian. It's like, okay, I'm sorry. I thought, and when I look, we all minorities, because niggas, we were walking down the street. If they say nigga, they ain't gonna be like, oh, the Jamaican nigga or the Haitian. No, we're all black, so that's what they'll be calling us all together.
Exactly. And so, with that, coming from Georgia, I don't know how it is now. Probably the same, probably better. But I didn't really learn that much in the school system here. And my parents didn't like that. So going to school in the suburb, they taught us a lot. And by the time I was 10 or 11, and my parents separated and we moved, we had to go to Newark. As soon as I started going to school in Newark, I got made fun of. Oh, you talk proper. Why are you wearing? She thinks she cute because she got on an Abercrombie shirt. Like, I got made fun of all the time. I was called the Oreo, like, blatantly to my face. Like, kids were mean. And my sisters, they talk, right, they still are. My sisters, we all just, that's how my mom, like, raised us, like, to talk, be women, be young ladies, and talk properly, and things of that nature, and I got made fun of it, and that's when I started hating, like, what is being white? Like, what is acting white? I never understood it. I'm like, because I was speaking the proper way, if we were adults right now, I would get the job over you, because you don't even know, how to speak or how to conduct yourself. So, yeah, that was my experience, just, like, growing up, and then, of course, as I got older, people just really don't care.
Right. There's honestly, even as an adult, you still catch adult people saying, oh, you're white because, or you're acting white or trying to be white because you live here, because your majority of your friends are white. And, like I said, I just can't grasp the concept.
But it's funny because I feel like the minorities are bandwagon people. And I'm not saying that to diss our people. I'm saying that because it's people like, you have people like 2 Chainz out there that will probably, he's from Atlanta, you know, and he gets everybody ratchet and stuff. But you'll see him like at a spa or something, and it's cool. Or you'll see him eating filet mignon and like lobster or something, and it's cool. Then all of a sudden, everybody in the hood like, oh well, since 2 Chainz did it, it's okay for us to do it. Y'all not calling him white, but the average person that y'all encounter, because I'm black and I drink massive amount of Starbucks, I'm bougie.
Oh, I get that all the time.
Because I don't go to Dunkin' Donuts, I'm bougie. Like,
I don't go to Dunkin' Donuts because Dunkin' Donuts is dry.
It's nasty.
And I'm from Atlanta. I'm from Georgia. We eat Krispy Kreme. Hot sign on. That means it's time to eat. I don't get that. I don't understand that.
Because I go to the farmer's market and the grocery store is not good enough.
I'm sorry. I like fresh produce. I didn't understand.
I don't want the cancer.
Right. I don't get it. I mean, and I know, you know, this conversation happens a lot, but it really does not make any sense. It's like, oh, you're acting white because, oh my God. I'm surprised that, they do say you trying to act white when you get the weave in your hair and everything like that. You're not walking around with your natural and everything, so you must be white. It's like, no, I just prefer to have straight hair. Right. It's like, I don't wear my hair. And I mean, even white people, they straighten their hair because they don't like their natural curl.
Exactly.
So, all right. Why is it black women that always get that?
I remember when I went to California, I went home and I was at a family birthday party. And I was talking to my friend and she was pregnant. And I'm like, she said she was having like complications, whatever. And that she was always stressed out. And I was like, well, I feel like you should do yoga. I did it in school. You know, it was a course, but I really did enjoy doing it after the course was over. And it just relaxes you. You don't have to do all the crazy stuff that they do. And the first thing she said, that's for white people. I'm not about to be doing no yoga. I said, well, you or your baby's not going to be calm. Like, stop thinking like that. It's not a white thing. It's just an exercise.
White people?
It's an exercise.
That's just the weirdest thing to me. When you hear stuff like that, it's like, oh, yoga is white people. Okay, did I miss the memo? Did I not catch the email that says, you know what? White people equals yoga. I mean, if there's any white people that are listening, please chime in. I'm just curious to know.
Right. I don't know. I just feel like people
they're very closed-minded.
That's what I was about to say. Closed-minded and brainwashed. Like, people just have to stay where they are. They feel like they're going to lose touch. Like, I'm from Compton, but if I move to Baldwin Hills, I'm going to just change. And I'm not going to be real no more. And it's funny because we was just talking about this before the show started. I was watching Girlfriends, and they have an episode where Maya goes to that. She's straight from Compton. You know, she grew up in South Central, some parts and all this stuff. Basically every hood area in California. And when she finally moved to Lancaster, if anybody know about California, Lancaster is the valley. So Lancaster would be like, people from Georgia, it would kind of be like Lawrenceville or Savannah or something, like the valley, and then LA would be like our Atlanta. So she moved to Lancaster and got a house, and all her friends like, oh, she bougie, she don't come down the tracks no more. She eat this and she drink this and she be with her friends, and it's like, she can't just have a nice living now. She lived in poverty all her life. Like, it makes her white because and she want better for her son, and she
exactly
right.
And I mean, even moving from Ohio, and anybody that's from Dayton, y'all know it's country as hell or whatever there. Sorry, my Dayton people, but let's keep it funky. But the second we moved to Georgia, a lot of family started bashing us because we left Ohio. But I'm like, my parents knew that there was not going to be anything for us but to either be doing absolutely nothing. Now, I'm not saying that there has been some talented people that's come out of Ohio. We've seen it. We know that. But my parents was like, I want want my kids to have better. It's not saying I want my kids to have better around white people.
Right.
She was just, my parents was like, this is not the environment that I want to continue to raise my kids in, because I want them to have a better future. It's not saying I want my kids to have a better future, so let's move to the whitest white town.
Right.
I mean, granted, we did move to Roswell, and it was a culture shock, but I know my parents did
Roswell seems so small. I don't even really see the difference, because I'm here at the border and I go to Roswell. As soon as I leave Roswell, I'm in Johns Creek. So I really don't see I don't know. Maybe I haven't explored it enough, but it was really
But I mean, coming from Ohio, where it's predominantly black people, and then coming to Roswell, where it's more white people, it's a culture shock. But it wasn't. My parents did not sit down and okay, let's pull off the map of Georgia. Let's see if we can find the whitest town. Let me see. My parents didn't do that. They just wanted better, and they knew that where we were staying wasn't. So, but people just really, it is a brainwashing type of situation and it's sad. I don't think it's ever going to end. You just gotta, I guess, accept it and move on and live your own personal life, because that's how people are going to think of you. But I hear that a lot of time. Oh, you used to live in Roswell. Hell, I get it now. They're like, oh, you live in Stone Mountain. Oh, you were really in the hood. Actually, my parents are not moving to the hood.
That's the funny thing. But when me and my ex finally, when we moved here, as soon as we said where we moved, because once again, people don't pay attention to the maps and stuff. So as soon as you say, oh, I'm from Jersey, they think you say New York. So they think it's Manhattan or it's automatically Brooklyn. As soon as you say I moved to Georgia, ATL, where you at in Atlanta? No, I'm not in Atlanta. So we would come and we'd be like, yeah, we moved to Duluth. They'd be like, oh, y'all must got good money already. Like, y'all living in a nice area. It's everybody over there. Why? Because we not in Decatur or East Point. So we got buku money. Okay. Yeah, people do that now, and it's like,
it doesn't make any form of sense, and I don't understand what is the whole dress, what you have on is you're dressing white. What the smooth hell is dressing white?
I want to know that too, because at the end of the day, no shade to our minority people, and I'm talking to our black people. Everybody wants to, you talk about the white person, but you running to go get that Chanel bag. Ooh. You running to go, have everything that they have. So you can't sit here and talk about them and then be like, we invented Chanel. They did. And style. People have their different style. Where do Koreans, and Japanese and, all of those people get their style from? Everybody has everything that we do in life is repeated. Period. It's just remixed a little bit. It's twist a little bit. Because if that's the case, I don't know how many thousands of people, billions of people wouldn't have boutiques if that was the case, or it wouldn't be the same type of art. It's like everybody just remix everything, so you can't sit there and single somebody out.
It really is, like we've been saying, it's just a brainwash thing, and I get it. I get told about my kids the way they dress. They've been. I mean, since they were little, it didn't register in my head, or it didn't even faze me. I didn't even think about it honestly when I'm dressing my kids or buying stuff for my kids. But they get a lot of, because my kids will wear Vans. My kids are not into Jordans and all that stereotypical urban wear. Right, urban my kids do not wear urban wear. It's not that I told them they shouldn't wear it. They just don't. That's not their feel. And they're like, oh, I get, you got skater boys. No, they're not skater boys. They don't skate. They just like Vans. They like screen tees. And I'm sorry, my sons are two black males that don't sag their pants below their asses. Yeah. That's just not their feel. I'm sorry, pulling your pants up is acting white. If that's acting white, you know what, honey? I will own it. Right. I'm like, please walk around like the whitest white man ever.
And that's so funny because I was just talking to somebody about that. When you talk about acting white, I seen it with guys too that I grew up. If they were actual gentlemen and opened the door and spoke properly and introduced themselves to your parents, and it's like, you a weak nigga. No, I just have manners. Like, I was just talking to a friend and I was like, it's crazy how some people that do have boys, like when they have boys, whatever, they feel like they could just drop the ball a little bit or just slip a little bit and teach them or tell them as they go. Like, they want to wait until their son has a baby mama instead of a wife to be like, well, you should have been strapping up. You should have been being safe. You should, like, no, you're supposed to teach him this stuff. And like it's hard for us, but like I said, I've seen it with guys too, where they get made fun of for just being quote unquote proper,
which is the funniest thing. Like I said, I just laugh at a bunch of things I hear. Like, I know when referring back to my sons, I have one child that he is straight 90s, like alternative, like rock.
Yeah, I remember
he listened to, like, I mean, Pearl Jam, Guns N' Roses, and stuff like that. Now, mind you, I mean, I expose my kids to all music, and they don't like any form of hip hop, not even a stitch of it. And thank God that I have, I guess, put them in schools where the school that they're in now is very diverse. So they get the best of, the best of the world, I guess, to say. So they never had to deal with people saying, oh, you acting white or anything like that. But I've had people tell me when I talk about my kids, like, oh, they're skaters, or oh, they're doing it. I'm like, no, that's just them.
They simply like that.
That's what they like.
And then too, it's kind of like, what was I gonna say? It's like you also, when parents, or us ourselves, we do move to certain neighborhoods and certain areas. When the kids adapt to certain things, what are you supposed to do now? Like, do some movie type crap, like, you just, okay, we're going to take you a ride to the hood so you know what the hood is.
Right.
Then you shouldn't have moved to a nice area.
The thing about it is, and why does one being black have to go to the hood?
Right.
Why does that make you 100% black? Because you rode through the hood. I'm black, and trust me, my siblings know, and my close friends know, I am not going to travel to the hood or projects and stuff like that. I don't have any reason
to go.
So, and if you call me bougie because of that, I'll be that. If you call me white because of that, I'll be that. I just don't understand how a lot of people equate your blackness by staying in poverty.
Right.
And then when you come up, it's, oh, you white now. Okay. And you don't understand. I'm going to make me a shirt. It will be on my Say Word Instagram page. Or I'm going to have one that says, yes, I'm proud. I'm a proud white woman. Because, I mean, it just doesn't make sense. It really does make no sense.
I'm a proud white woman.
Now, I might catch some hell from my black people, but if anybody's listening to the podcast, they will understand.
It's like, oh, well, so what?
Basically.
And I don't find it a problem if we're not judging you for you. Why you gotta judge us? If I don't, because it's sometimes, I'm not going to say that I don't want to go, but I've always had friends or like people I was in a relationship with who probably did have less than me or who did not, have as much as me. And so people would think that I was stuck up because I had more than them. And I'm like, no, if I'm sitting here in South Central with you, sitting here in the trenches, I don't have an issue with where you come from or how you live. Like, you accept me for me, I accept you for you. You don't have, because my ex, her mom used to, when she first met me, she used to call me bougie all the time. It used to kind of make me mad and hurt my feelings. But then I was like, at the end of it, I was like, I'll be bougie. I don't care. Like, I'm not, why we gotta be ghetto? Why we gotta be hood all the damn time? And then you wonder why somebody talking
right.
Talking about you.
It does not make any form of sense. But like I said, I will definitely own, if you want to call me white, if I'm doing things like speaking properly or my attire is, I guess, up to par or to white standards. I'm like, I will own it because I'm like, I guess I don't get it. I mean, it could very well be that my family is very diverse And
that too.
Yep. And the fact that I did grow up in Roswell. So yeah, it was more white people. So maybe it's my exposure. So I'm like, I have no problems with, if you want to call me acting white, okay, cool beans.
Right, and I'll continue to skip to Starbucks.
Oh, I'm not leaving Starbucks. I'm not going to stop with my Starbucks. I'm not going to, if I do speak properly, I'm not going to start all of a sudden.
And for me, I'm like, I just like, I like different. Even as a kid, I've always been the one, like, out of my family, like, me and my younger sister, we would try things before everybody else and, like, try to convince it on them, whether it's a recipe, whether it's a drink, whether it's a place to go have fun or whatever like that.
Oh, we were just hanging out. That's a whole nother,
that's a whole
other thing too, because it depending on where you want to go. Here in Atlanta, right. They're like, Midtown. Okay, that's gay people. That's white people.
Right.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
You need to go to Edgewood, because Edgewood is where the black people at. Like,
or you need to go to Old National. I don't go there. It ain't like I'm scared of black people or scared of my people. No, because I love being black. I swear to you, I wouldn't want to be any other race but the race that I am. But I'm like, no, I like going to Buckhead. I don't mind going there. I like going to Midtown and stuff like that. I'm like, sorry, I don't go to Old National or I just don't. But I guess that's me being white.
No, okay. I just, like I was saying, I just like different. Like, even like growing up, after a certain time, it's like, okay, we having the same thing for Thanksgiving that we having on Sunday dinner.
Girl,
over and over and over again. God forbid somebody just put some new, I don't know, pumpkin pie on the table, and then it's foreign to everybody.
You can't pull out no pumpkin pie on Thanksgiving.
I'm just saying, like, we have the same thing on Sundays. We have on Thanksgiving the same type of food on Christmas.
Girl.
And then a few, like, years, like, growing up, then my mom broke the tradition, and she started doing, like, different things for Christmas, different things for Thanksgiving, or if we had, like, a family night, instead of just having the regular soul food and chicken wings and mac and cheese, all that stuff, it would be, like, a create your own pasta or something like that. I just like different. I can't listen to the same thing all the time, be at the same place all the time, unless it is maybe like my favorite restaurant or hangout spot or something like that.
And changing up is good because you meet different people.
Right.
Damn. And that's the problem that we have. People want to stay within their little circle. Oh, I'm black because I'm going to stay with my black people. That's all well and good, but I mean, expand. There's other people. There's other views. You'll be surprised what you can gain from hanging around different people. I mean, and I think some people, honestly, it scares black people to hang out with white people because they feel like they got to switch it up. Oh my God, I can't. I'm not gonna be able to talk the way I want to talk. I'm like, granted, you may have to. You don't want to come in straight Atlanta.
Right.
I mean, you
straight New York.
You don't want to come in like that. Of course, you want to ease into, them warming up to your personality, but it doesn't mean that you have to sit there and change the way you eat, the way you dress, just because, okay, I'm about to hang out with my white
let me tell you, in college, when I first started college, I had 4 roommates. I was the only black girl. There was a Salvadorian girl and 2 white girls. One that was like poverty, not super, super poverty, but she was poverty white. The other one, so she know the struggle just a little bit. The other one had everything handed to her. And then the other one had everything handed to her. So it was like, with the girl that was like poverty, I felt like I had to kind of be a certain way around them. And they was more ratchet than I was. And it just happened like that. I was like, y'all ghetto and embarrassing. Like, but we all had fun and we all clicked and we all meshed well. So also with that, like you said, people get scared and feel like they have to switch up themselves. You never know.
You know what's funny?
Never know.
So my question,
and you can tell who's trying too hard.
My question is, so does the question still apply to white people when they're, quote unquote, not acting so white? or acting like they should be. Do they get questioned like, oh my God, you're acting this way. Why aren't you acting white? I would love to, hear some of my lovely Caucasian people to hear them like, oh, you're not acting white. Because I know a bunch of people, because I've been in Roswell. We did have, we had a couple of white boys that I knew that all they did was hang around black people all day, every day, since, I guess, birth. and I know they used to catch a lot of hell for doing that. But I'm like, I want to ask them, like, oh, did you get penalized? Or you're not acting white.
Right.
You acting, what, quote unquote, black.
Right.
I don't get it. I seriously don't understand that whole thing of acting white. And like I said, if somebody could give me a good definition, and I mean a good definition, not my personal opinion is, I mean,
right.
I'm like, I want a good definition of what is this acting white deal. Like, I don't get it. I'm like, what is acting white? What is acting black? I mean,
yeah. Now, there is an issue when we have like the Rachel. Oh, how you said? What's her last name?
The white chick that she was just delusional. I think she just had mental problems because she was claiming that she was black and her parents.
We accept you if you white and you down with the brown.
Right.
You don't have to just say you black.
Right, and that kind of stuff kind of spooks me out. I mean, like I said, I think she just has some mental issues. She seems very smart, very educated. But I think that she just had some mental issues with that one, because she really, really in her head, when she looked in that mirror, she saw the blackest chick popping. She's like, my African American is popping today. My melanin is popping. That's what she saw when she was, right, or spray tan, whatever. But she really, I think she just had mental issues with that one. But I mean, I couldn't say, I can't speak for the whole black race or African American race. I'm very accepting of anybody. I don't sit there and be like, I can't hang out with you because you're white, or I can't friend you because you're not black. But I know there's some people like, I'm black, so my friend's black, I'm marrying black, my kids gonna be black, they gonna have black. And it's just like, okay, honey. Okay. And, with all this race talk that's going on heavy now.
All lives matter.
Right. We don't even want to talk about that all over. That was last season.
Y'all just see her expression.
Talked about all lives matter. Yes, they do. We know. But you know what? I'm not going to even go into that spiel because I know that'll bring up a lot of chatter.
Yes.
That,
for another day.
I mean, we talked about it a little bit last season.
Yeah.
But, I mean, whatevs. Like I said, I take in anybody. I don't look at colors like it's whatever. If you cool to me, I'm going to be cool to you. If you respect me, I respect you.
Right.
That's how I look at it.
Right.
That's how it is for me. So.
One of our listeners just made a good point. People call President Clinton black because of the things he did. And that brings me to my point of what I just said. They can be themselves off top, and we gonna like you when we see you genuine. Now, if we see you trying too hard with the music, what you say, your friend would listen to rap music all the time. Like, listening to music every time I come around, but right. That's not what you listen to on your regular day-to-day.
And that's another thing, stereotypical things that people think that black people just do. Now, granted, don't get me wrong, there are things that we as black people is hands down. That's a black thing.
Right.
But as far as like the music, I don't need you to pump 2 Chainz. I'm not even a 2 Chainz fan. I don't need you to pull out the Fatty Wap. I don't need you to pull out any of that to be like, oh, okay, I'm going out with my black girl, so let me pop out
your
all
experiment. That's what I seen on the Awkward Black Girl. It was a web series in 2013, and she was finally dating, but it just happened. It wasn't her normal. It happened to be a white guy, and she was pissed off. Like, she let him have it at the end of the date because he took her somewhere in LA where it was a soul food place. It was a chicken and waffle. It wasn't Roscoe's. It was like chicken and waffles and strictly soul food. They was the only biracial couple in there. Then the next half of the date, he took her to a spoken word. She hated it. Like, she got so mad. I was like, what you think? And of course, somebody made a poem about the white man wanting the black woman. And you said they're so awkward.
Awkward as hell.
And she told him, like, hell, nigga, I like sushi. Why we ain't go eat sushi? Like,
because that's not a black thing.
Right.
Black people just don't eat sushi.
Right.
We're going to have another show about stereotypical things that black people are labeled. You know, that'll be another show. Tune in.
Right.
But it's funny to hear when, you know, people just assume that's how, you know, you are. It's like, okay, well, you black, so we're going to take you down to the hood and get you chicken and waffles. And people are very shocked that I don't eat meat. They're like, what you mean you don't eat meat?
Yeah, that's not black people stuff.
And then like, talking about, what do you mean, like, you a vegetarian? I'm like, well, I eat, like, seafood, but I don't eat, like, the pork, the beef, and chicken, and things like that. That's that white people shit. I'm like, when did that equate, vegetarians equate to white people? Did they come up with this?
Right.
I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I need to do some deeper research. Maybe white people did come up with this. I don't know, but I don't feel like that's what it is. I'm sorry that I want to eat a little bit healthier, and I want to live a little bit longer than expected. I didn't know that was white people stuff, but you know, it's funny. Like, even when I was eating meat, I didn't even eat like the stereotypical fried chicken. And
my sister does not like frying chicken. Like, she can't stand it. She might eat it, but she can't stand the smell of it. She can't stand, like, she's just not gonna wake up and like crave it. Like, I want some fried chicken. Like, no.
I didn't even eat fried chicken like that when I was eating meat.
Me neither.
I'm like, I like the skin.
I eat meat, but I don't.
I don't like fried chicken. I don't like watermelon.
Okay, now this past summer, that watermelon was good at Kroger. Let me. Somebody said, "What you doing?" I said, "Being black, eating watermelon." It was good though.
Know, that's so. Once again, that's another brainwash.
Right.
That white people eat watermelon. Actually, it's a Southern thing. It's not even like it's a black person thing. But I don't know how the hell we got labeled eating watermelon.
Yes.
Once again,
is it something that we don't know? Something about the slaves or something we don't know about the watermelon?
Yep. We got to do our research. We're going to get some people and we're going to have a Black History moment.
Okay.
So
that's fine.
That's another show.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening to us tonight.
That ain't, you acting black. Get your verbiage together.
See, I'm acting black. You see what you said?
Get your verbiage together. You acting
tonight,
black.
Y'all. Thank y'all for listening tonight. We had fun. And thank everybody on our Instagram and Facebook for tuning in tonight and for telling me happy birthday.
I was gonna say go on the Instagram page and wish Mac a happy birthday.
Yes.
You 2 and 5.
2 and 5. And we will be back next Sunday for sure. Follow our Instagram, the Coffee Comment. YouTube, you can, to listen to our episodes, you can type in the Coffee Comment or Coffee Comment. It comes up on Spreaker.com, where you can sit here and chat with us during the show and leave comments. And our Facebook.
See, we have a lot of outlets.
We have a lot of outlets
where you can
no
interact
excuse.
With us. And if you have anything that you may want to say about tonight's show, like I said, all the beautiful outlets that we just listed out to you guys, drop us a DM. We can always come back next week, or hell, go on the Instagram page and, go in more detail or talk about the comments that we did get about the show. So, continue to interact with us. And we also have, you will see on the Instagram page and also on the Facebook page, where we're doing this I'm getting tongue-tied. Listener's choice, where you guys can toss out topics to talk about on the show and also be a guest since you came up with the topic for the show. So you guys just, drop us DMs, drop us comments on the Instagram page, on the Facebook page, and we'll see you guys, or I guess not see, hear you guys, talk to you guys.
Talk to you guys.
Next Sunday.
Yes. Thank you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.